Hey y'all, what's the correct collective good people? Come on in. Come on in, y'all. Come on in. Come on in, y'all. Y'all come on in. Come on in. Come on in, y'all. Y'all come on in. Come on in. Come on in. Come on. Come on in, y'all. Y'all come on in. Come on. Coming in. Come on. Y'all come on. Come on in. I said y'all come on in. Come on in. Come on, y'all. Come on in. Come on. Come on in. Y'all come on. Come on in. I said, come in. Come on in. Y'all come on in. I got that from some comedian. He said that, are you cold or not? He said that that's how people do. That's how people do when they come in online. Y'all come on in. Come on in, y'all. Got some lotion on these hands, man. When I tell you, it looks like my hands been punching bags of flour. Like I do that for a living or something. So anyhow, um, just on here to chit chat a little bit while I'm riding. Um, got a nice little piece of ride to go. I'm hoping that my phone don't start ringing because usually it doesn't do that until I start drive. I mean, get on the phone with somebody else. So check this out, everybody. We want to send our condolences out to Miss Wendy Williams, and she lost her mom, Shirley Williams, over the weekend. Um, very, very hard losing the mother. For I don't know if anyone out there has ever lost a parent, but it's hard losing anybody. It's hard losing anybody, but ain't no but. It's just hard losing anybody. When you lose your parents, a child, or a spouse, especially, um, it's really, really, really difficult. But um, you can lose your animal and be devastated. So any kind of grief is a lot. So we're gonna send our prayers and energy, positive energy to Wendy Williams. Um, because we know she loved her mommy and she loves her dad, and I'm pretty sure that her mom and dad so did everything together. So I'm pretty sure it's devastating. So prayer, good energy goes there, and also we want to send our prayers out to Natalie Giselle Reed. Um, you remember Natalie as one of the good friends to Eve on Eve's sitcom Eve, and she also played opposite Halle Berry on Baps, the movie Baps. She lost her bout with colon cancer early this morning, and so we send prayers to her husband and children. 53 years young. I mean, this young lady is my age, and she passed away from colon cancer. I'm starting to talk to myself as well as to everybody else when I say take care of yourself and take care of your colon screenings. So prayers to all of the individuals that are out there, and especially to those who have lost loved ones. Also, I'm not going to say the name to this particular individual um, for respect and privacy because the family is local, and the sensitivity of the situation, even though if you look it up, you can always find the information out there because, it made national news, and I'm sorry. So it made national news, local news. But anyways, there was a young lady who is a bishop of her dad is a bishop friend of the family, and he lost his 27-year-old daughter uh, to domestic violence. She shared a son with her assailant, and he waited for her to get off of work, and he gunned her down outside. And um, he later got into a gun battle with police and lost. Police gunned him down as well. So, um, on the 12th of this month, that family will be laying the beautiful 27-year-old to rest, and her son does not understand why he has no parents at this time. But he's asking for his mom, and he's been crying for his mother. He doesn't understand why she never came home from work last week. And oh my God, if you could just see this young lady, a picture of her, she's gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous, beautiful young lady, and her life was cut short. So we're gonna pray for her dad, her mom. Her mom is, oddly enough, the dad is a friend of of my family. He's a bishop friend of my pastor, who is also my cousin. So he's a good friend to him. But her mother is my one of my very best friends' god sister. They grew up together. They went to school together. Everything. So my best friend has been over with her since this situation broke, and she, went to identify the body and made all the plans and all that. So, and she herself doesn't feel well. So I'm praying for her. And she was torn because not only does she not feel well, but her son's birthday is today. And she didn't even want to take time off for herself. But she's been with her god sister since this happened. So I understand how she's feeling, and she's exhausted, but she's still pressing her way. And I thank God for friends like that. I thank God for people, when you have people like that in your life, because this situation is very hard. Grief is already hard to deal with, but when you have to go through grieving alone, it makes it harder to make decisions. You make decisions out of the way you're feeling at the time, and you have no one to lean on or draw strength from. So I'm grateful that my friend has been there. I call her baby sister, has been there for her god sister throughout this grieving process, and you know everything goes. And let me say this about grief and grieving and the initial shock in the process of it. What happens is, for most people, with supportive surroundings, for most people, um, when someone passes away, especially if it was unexpected or something like that, people are always there when it first happens, and people will show up every day and stay all day and all night for that first week or up until the services and the repast, and then after that they don't hear from anyone else. Well, it's in those times that people really, really need somebody. Like after the dust settles and when you're alone again is when it hits really hard. And then when you're there and you have no one. So let me say that when my mom passed, my mom was the type of person that number one, she was an evangelist, she was in ministry. Number two, she was one that fed the entire community. I mean, when I tell you this time of year, every kid in her church had a gift for Christmas. Whether it was a baby doll from the dollar store, a pair of socks, they all had every kid, whether she knew you or not, and she anticipated people bringing children from out of the world. So every kid in her church had something to open, every last one of them. So she was that type of an individual. Not only that, my mother did not have, she only had a 7th grade education. My mom left home at the age of 8 and she went to live with a white classmate as her family as that family's maid. So the way she got clothes was she got the girls hand-me-downs and she lived in that house to make $2 a week, I think it was, two some a week, and she gave that to my grandmother to help my grandmother. So my mom was 8 years old and she was cooking and cleaning for a whole family at 8. So when my mom, she grew up fast. She had me at 17. She was pregnant with me at 16. She had me at 17. And so she grew up fast and she knew a lot and she was self-taught. My mom taught herself how to argue cases for disability in front of judges and magistrates. And she won cases that lawyers could not win. Okay. So she was an advocate for disabled people and got them income when they couldn't even get a lawyer or couldn't afford to get a lawyer. And in most cases, the lawyers took more than half because they're allowed to take 33.33%, but they're also allowed to charge other fees that don't come out of that. So yeah, my mom would do it, and that's how she made her own living up until the time she untimely passed away. When my mom passed, oh my God, people called the family, my mom's side of the family, her friends, the people that she helped, ministry, all kind of people. So there were plenty of people around. When my dad passed, however, there were people around, but they weren't there for me. They were there because there was a place to gather, and that was a whole nother thing. But when my brother passed, I had nobody. Actually, after my dad passed, there was no repast. Well, I'm sorry, there was a repast at his church. I apologize. My dad's church came through. They absolutely came through, but there was no family there. My family members actually made a gathering at another one of their houses. These are not immediate cousins and sisters, but these are like third cousins all over. And so they had parties, celebrations with my dad, and I wasn't even invited. And that's how messy people are, but okay. So therefore, when my and like left and right. When everybody said my name, he said his name because that's how close we were. Well, where's Gloria and Jeff and Jeannie and Jeff? You know, our names were like we were one almost. So when my brother passed, there was no one around, and it was difficult because my dad and my brother passed 8 months apart. It was really devastating for me because in the beginning, when my mom passed, my brother took the wheel because my mama was my rock, my everything, my very best friend. My brother took the wheel with that, and my brother was sick as well. When my dad died, I had to take the wheel because that was my brother's main man. That was my daddy was everything to my brother. So my mom, I had to take the wheel with that. But then 8 months, well, I'll say 5 months later, my brother got really sick to the point to where he went in the hospital in September and he never got out. And he passed away December the 18th. He tried his best to make it to my 50th birthday celebration. He was too weak to come in. So I went outside in the parking lot so that he could see me. I gave him a hug and I stood outside and talked to him for a while. And that very next week, he went in the hospital and he went into a coma. He stayed in a coma for about 2 weeks. God allowed him to come out of that coma for about a week. Then all of a sudden he passed away. So that was December the 18th, right before Christmas. I had to go through the grieving process by myself with that. On top of that, I had such a hard time with the funeral home. After going through that, the funeral home really ripped me off for over $2,500. And they still wouldn't dress my brother for a funeral. So we had to have a memorial service without my brother's body there. And then we had to turn around and cremate him, which was something that I felt devastated about. So once that happened, about 45 days later, I think it was, I called to inquire about my brother's remains, and only to find out that he was never cremated. He was still sitting in the back somewhere under a sheet, undressed, and the funeral home had not cremated him yet. So I had to get people that I knew that were higher up, that worked for the state, to step in. And the very next day, I got a call saying that I was able to pick his remains up. So here I am having to deal with this grieving thing all over again, almost 2 months later. So now, not only am I grieving all over again, but I am clinging to my brother's ashes and feeling as if he's never been at rest. So I say all that to say that sometimes you won't be able to start healing until you can even put your loved one to rest. But if you're not able to actually put them to rest, you still have to deal with a process of grief. And when you don't have someone to share that with, that makes it that much more difficult. So it's always good to share with someone if you have the strength to do it. And sometimes, even when you don't, you have to like choke it up and, and put on an alter ego to kind of help your family get through it, because that's a hard thing to deal with, is to deal with grief, and especially to have to do it all alone. So, um, whenever we can all pull together as a community and send love and positive energy to a person that is grieving, it's always a good thing. Whenever you can send a card or a simple phone call, not with a lot, because the person, the last thing you can really do is have a conversation when you're so broken and you're so torn up that you really don't know what to do. So sometimes you have to just, not keep the person for a long, but you might have to just keep, talk to them for a minute. Hang on for a second. I'm sorry, y'all. My daughter is calling me. So, anyways, um, just be there if you can to support people when they're going through that grieving process. It's not easy. It's very difficult, and sometimes you can really help an individual get through some difficult times if you can just, spare the energy. Just spare some energy and just be there. You know. So yeah, that was it. That was all I really wanted. I pray for everybody that's going through depression during the holiday season. That's a very difficult thing to go through as well. Some people are depressed because of COVID, period, being on quarantine, not being able to really visit and hang out, and if you're following the rules anyway. Um, and some people are really depressed because, like me and the rest of the world, you can't really pay all your bills the way you are accustomed to paying them and do what you can do for your children for Christmas and you know, all of this and that. Some of them are still, like I said before, bereavement, you know, and some people already have issues with anxiety, depression, things like that, and with all of this other stuff piled on it, or maybe going through relationship issues, or not having a significant other, or whatever is causing you to be triggered. You know, I'm praying for you as well. You know, it doesn't hurt to reach out to someone and just share a couple of kind words, a hug, a smile, you know, send a gift card, a $5 Starbucks gift card to the people you haven't heard from in a while. You know they like coffee, or you know, send an e-card, you know, just to say hello, or you know, you can't just drop by or anything like that. You know, something that'll never get old is a customized mask, or you know, something like that, something that might be useful, a book to read, a magazine, an ebook, or something that you think that they can make good out of, that might be able to take their mind off of some of the things that are going through. But just make sure that your books are chosen wisely. You don't send somebody who's depressed a book on how to successfully commit suicide. You don't want to do that. Or somebody who is angry at somebody. You don't want to send them a book on how to make a bomb. Come on. So, you know, just be smart in your selection, you know. Or somebody who's not sleeping well enough, and you send them some cappuccino espresso or something. You don't want to do that either. So, you know, just be kind, show love, uh, try to recenter your anger, and be joyful. Um, just do something positive instead of, you know, allowing people to use you as a trash can and allow them to dump on you, um, especially things that you can't change or things that are not your business anyway. Like, for instance, bringing you in on a bunch of mess, madness, gossip, trash. You know, it's not something your business can change how the situation came out, or you can't make it turn around or anything. Don't allow them to dump because all it does is it and you do with that information here. So, why don't you research how to overcome some of the things you're going through? You know, you know, try to make that happen. You know. So, with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and um, hey, hey, cousin, hey, sis, what's cracking? Like, I was just on here talking about Wendy Williams losing her mom, and how we also lost Natalie Reed, the girl who played on the E sitcom, and she also played in Babs opposite Halle Berry. She passed away this morning from colon cancer. So, and I was talking about one of my good girlfriends, god sister, lost her daughter to domestic violence. The perpetrator killed, waited she out job, shot her up, and then he turned around, got into a gunfight with the police, and he was killed. And they shared a little boy. So, you know, I was talking about how grief does people, especially when it's sudden, and unexpected, and especially around this time of year. So, just, you know, don't allow yourself um, overexerted by taking on a bunch of garbage. You know, allow people that's garbage, but on trash. You can't do anything about it. You can't change the situation or add to it or take away from it. So it's not your issue. It's not even their issue. But they just want to have somebody to gossip and dump on, and don't allow people to do that to you. So basically, that's what I was saying. So I don't know if you had anything you wanted to add to that or not, Mama. I know you're out and about. I'm calling you. I and yeah, but other than everything, it's the table. I'm so proud of her. Oh my God, this girl is a jack of all trade and master of every one. When I tell you she's a cook, she's a custom cake decorator, and I thought I was good at some of the things that but baby, I can't hold a candle to my sister. And I'm one of those ones, get credit where credit is due. If somebody can do something better than you, give them the accolades. And I think Tanya is awesome when it comes to custom cake decorating and mastering her social media. She is one of those people that will put her mind to something and do it and do it successfully, not half-heartedly, or as my mama used to say, half-assed. She does it with integrity. This girl got like 4 YouTube channels, and all of them are doing well. I got one and still ain't made it to 1,000, but it's coming. She's trying to teach me consistency. I'm a little more consistent than I used to be, but I'm not Tanya. But I admire her. I'm the older sister. She the bigger sister in terms of success. She's the bigger sister, so I love her for that. But make sure you guys, if any of you guys are not familiar, make yourself familiar. And baby, let me tell you something about Friday Night Lives on her channel are so live that sometimes I have to tap out. I ain't even gonna lie. Sometimes I have to tap out because they hang. It's like going to a party every Friday night. Seriously. And talking to all your friends sitting around the table playing cards and talking ish. It is so much fun on Friday nights. It's really like sitting and chilling with your homies. Seriously. So if you ain't doing nothing, come this Friday maybe about the 10 o'clock hour, 11 maybe if you're in the Detroit area, drop on into the hood table. The hood table, not the when it is. Girl, when I tell you, lines be late. Oh my God, we have so much fun. And don't let the panel get real full with a couple of nuts on there, like Mr. C, Mr. Mac, Miss, you know what I'm talking about, Caramel Diva, Miss Keish, oh, baby, we be on there like we are sitting around the brown table with Nino Brown putting it together. We have so much fun. So, I mean, the hood table is probably one of the best things that I've seen in a minute. And it is not, no, you don't have to be a certain financial status or social status or you don't have to be a super duper celebrity or anything. Just be regular you from the hood and get up on the hood table and kick your mind like that. And we have a ball. So come and make some friends. Anybody can get on the panel, she'll let anybody in, but you gotta be sensible and no troll and no ignorance. Don't mess the girls' coins up, getting on there cussing folk out and acting a fool and getting in too deep, even though no holes are barred on the hood table. We know not to bring no kids on to the table. That's the table that don't no kids get invited to. You know, they gotta sit at the little kids table. So come on in. Come on in. Come on in. Have a seat, put out a chair. You can even bring your own deck of cards. You can sit at the table play solitaire if you want to. We have a ball. You said night at I can't see Friday. I can't see because I'm driving. But Friday night at 9 o'clock. Yep, Central Standard Time, 9 o'clock. On and popping. We've been doing it for about a year now, huh? It's been about a year now, hasn't it, Tanya? That we've been doing the hood table. Because at first it was primetime TV. It was slice by slice. And y'all, she got some really nice merchandise too. Yep, right. Wrong folks on the yup. She got some really nice merch, y'all. When I grow up and my finances in order, I got the hood table hoodie. That's one of the first things I want to do. And then I want to get a little satchel or a bag or something that I can carry my stuff in so I can help support my girl. Okay, my phone is ringing off the hook. I'll be back a little bit later when I'm a little more stable. And she and I are going to do a cook off. We gotta let y'all know, not a cook off, but we're gonna get recipes. I think she said we are gonna let the viewers, the subbies, pick the recipe or the dish, and we're gonna get a recipe, and we're both gonna try the recipe. She's in Nebraska, I'm in Michigan, and we're gonna do it online together, and we're gonna have some people taste test it to see how it came out. So that's gonna be really fun because we both cook. We're both excellent cook. I cater a lot and I do some baking, but Tanya, she caters and she well, I think she bakes more than anything. But when I tell you she does bake, anyway, look like it came out of a bakery. It really does. Professional, very professional. And she does decorate on her channel. Go to her channel, The Hood Table. She'll tell you all about it. So for now, I love y'all on purpose. It ain't nothing you can do about it. And you know, we don't say goodbye because goodbye is permanent. So we always say later for now.